so let's get started. Let's grab the OOV and also let's grab weights. So we'll use both of those. And lying down on your back. Have a seat at the base of it. Good morning, Jingy. So to get on it, to make sure that you're in a good space, slowly start going all the way back. And just take a second to make sure that your tailbone is in the good place. A good test is to lift one leg up and make sure that it doesn't pull on your head and neck. If it does, you can scoot down a little bit and scoot up, but it should feel relatively supported.
Kat?
Yes?
I don't have, my things didn't arrive, so I just have a ball and a little foam roller. So I guess, do things just on the floor. I don't know. The things I ordered still haven't arrived, so.
Okay, no worries. Okay. I will just cue you with the ball and the foam roller.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for letting me know. I was like, I don't think I see the OOV, and I don't. So if you have the ball, you're just gonna lie down with your tailbone on the ball. And it works just as well, almost. A little bit more supportive, but. All right. So now from here, have the weights or just the weight of your arms and just reach both arms towards the ceiling. Feet are nicely parallel, palms are facing each other, nice long neck. Let's start protracting our shoulder blades. Inhale as the shoulder blades move away from each other. And then exhale as the shoulder blades move towards each other. Inhale, scapula protract. And exhale as they retract. So keep going at your own rate here. As you move away from each other and towards each other. One breath, just finding that connection. With the next breath, pause halfway in between, and then both arms are going to reach overhead. Elbows are straight, facing inward. And exhale as both arms return. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale as they come back. Keep going at your own pace. Now here you're focusing on pulling your ribs down towards the pelvis. It's a great way to stretch lats, especially if they tend to get tight as we hold your arm down more often than overhead. One more time, nice inhale, arms reach overhead, elbows straight, ribs pull in, and exhale, coming down. Now let's open arms out to the side. Try to widen, reach outward. And exhale, coming back. Inhale, arms reach out. Exhale as we're coming back. And open. Here the goal is to stretch the inside, stretch our pecs. Think about shoulders away from ears. And coming back. Let's do one more time, both arms. Opening out to the side. And then as they're coming back, let your left arm open out to the side. Nothing else moves. And slowly coming back. Stay with that left arm motion as it opens out and closes back in. Notice how the right side of the body maybe starts to engage a little bit more. The left foot puts a little more pressure into the floor. Whatever you have to do to stabilize your torso. And coming back. Now let's switch sides. Right arm goes out to the side. And exhale, coming back. And right arm opens. And slowly bring it back. And open. And coming back. Last one here. And slowly coming back. Now, start bringing your right leg up into the tabletop. Find this balance. If this is too challenging, lower your right elbow down. But if you're able to do it, stay here. Now we're going to reach our right leg long as the left arm reaches overhead. So arm and leg move away from each other. Breathe in. And exhale as they return. Inhale, move away from each other. Exhale in. Keep going here. 3 more times. Moving as slow as you need to help stabilize the torso, to help activate all the internal muscles in the torso, in the core. Last one here. Exhale in. Now stay there. Can you let your left arm move out to the side? Nothing else moves. And bring it in. That felt okay. Let the right hip open out to the side as the left arm opens. Arm comes in, hip comes in. So we're moving in opposition here. Working on rotational control. Exhale in. Good, 2 more. Working on disassociation of the hip and the shoulder joint. And last one here. And bring it in. Lower the leg down. Keep both arms reaching up, switching sides. We're going to bring our left leg up. Lower opposite elbow if you need to find your balance. Once you're in a good position, hold it up there. Now, reach your reach your right arm overhead as that left leg lengthens long. And then bring the arm and knee towards each other. So keep moving as slow as you need to. If it's too much, you can lower your elbow and keep that elbow down and just move through the leg. Keep breathing. Last one. Inhale out. Exhale in. Good. Now out to the side. Arm moves out to the side as the leg opens slightly. Arm comes in, leg comes in. I'm definitely not very balanced this morning. And bring it in. There's always that side that's more coordinated for all of us, I think. And open. 2 more, almost there. Breathe in. And exhale out. And last one. Lower both elbows down, drop the weights. Let's hold arms down on the floor. Last exercise here as both legs lift up into the tabletop. Now try to imprint abdominals. So connect your ribs towards the pelvis, whether you're on the ball or on the OOV. And then from here, allow one heel to tap down so that it touches the floor. And bring it back up. And then the other taps down and comes back up. And start switching like a bicycle. Breathing through it. You want to feel all the work in abdominals. Don't want to feel it in lower back. So only lower the heel as low as you can keep abdominals connected. So the back does not arch, pelvis doesn't move from that imprinted position. And 2 more. And exhale. And exhale. And lower back down. Excellent. Let's lower both legs down and roll off the OOV here. Now we're going to use it underneath our feet. So if you don't have the OOV, use the foam roll or nothing at all. But the OOV is going to go lengthwise, and the feet will be on the big round part of the OOV. So laying down on your back, feet are going to go on the OOV or the foam roll in the lengthwise position. Feet will be on the foam roll. Lying back down onto the floor. Take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, we're going to roll up through articulated spine into the bridge. So Pilates hip roll. Pause at the top. Notice, are your glutes connected? The front of the hips are open. The ribs are pulling down towards the pelvis. Arms are pressing down to the floor. Breathe in and exhale. Slowly start rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, mobilizing the spine until the tailbone is nice and heavy. Take a breath in, exhale, rolling up. Inhale, hold, and exhale, rolling down until the tailbone is nice and heavy. 3 more. And rolling up. Feeling the glutes at the top, feet are pressing down. If you have a foam roll, it's definitely going to be more hamstring dominant exercise because you're trying to keep it from rolling away and rolling back down. Now, in the next one, we're going to roll down a little differently. So let's roll up. Arms are still pressing down. Now, to roll down, allow your left side of the pelvis kind of soften and lower. And then start rolling down, letting that left side of the body to touch the mat first, and then the tailbone. So it's like a diagonal roll down. So you're rolling up straight. Now rolling down, let the right side of the pelvis drop first. Let that right hip lower first. And then roll down with control. Back to center. And roll up again. Left side of the pelvis drops as you lower down, letting the left side of your body to touch the mat, and then still articulating through the spine, but just mobilizing a little bit more on the left side. Final roll up. And then the right side of the pelvis drops first as the rest of the spine lowers. And you might notice a little more stiffness from side to side here. And coming back. Well done. Now, right leg comes up into the tabletop. Left leg is going to stay on the foam roll, OOV, or the floor. And instead of rolling up, we're going to hinge up into the single leg bridge. And lower back down, tailbone lowers. We're going to do 8 total. Exhale up. Inhale down. Pressing through the heel. And lower. Focusing on pelvic stability, not letting that right side, the leg that's up in the air, not letting it drop to the floor. And 5, almost there. And lower. And 6. Ooh, this is hard. And 7, especially having OOV underneath the foot. And last one. And lower back down. Switching legs. Right leg finds itself in the center of the OOV or the foam roll. Left leg lifts up. Exhale. Lift for 8. And lower. So single leg hip hinge. We're starting in neutral and then coming up in neutral spine. So you really want to focus on glute activation and then the hamstring. But those are the primary movers. Definitely will feel the quad, but hopefully it's not a full quad. Halfway there. And 4. Exhale. 3. Keep pressing arms down into the mat. It will help. And 2. And last one here. Well done. Let's lower both legs down. Bring knees towards the chest. Give them a hug. Roll your spine side to side to reset. And we're gonna come back up and do some mobility work. So we're gonna go into the spinal roll downs. If you don't have the OOV, don't use anything with the OOV. We're gonna put it lengthwise and have a seat on the pointy part of it. So you're gonna sit kind of in the saddle, really. If you don't have the OOV, you're just gonna be on the floor. Legs are nice and straight, toes are pulled up towards you, arms reaching up. We're gonna start in the neutral spine. So try to be as upright as you can here. Really important to get the sit bones down, chest lifted. We're gonna breathe in to prepare. As we exhale, start rolling back, tipping your pelvis back first, and then allow your spine to melt into the OOV or the floor. And then breathe in as you extend over. Take a second and notice where the OOV is hitting your upper back. If it's too low, you may want to scoot up on the next one. If it's too high, scoot down. But you just kind of want it to be in the mid-back where it feels like your body needs mobility. Inhale, lift the arms. And exhale, start rolling up, peeling yourself off the OOV, and then hinging forward at the end. Inhale back up to neutral. Grab the weights if they're handy for a little added challenge. Exhale, rolling down. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale, let the arms reach overhead. Exhale, arms lift up, nod the chin, pull your ribs in, and roll up. Breathe in. One more time this direction. Exhale, scoop and roll back. Inhale, let the arms reach overhead. Exhale, lift the arms, nod the chin, pull your ribs in, and roll back up. Now we're gonna do 3 more times, but now arms will open out to the side as you roll down. So it's a different shoulder rotation. And then they're gonna circle up and over, still come back overhead, start lifting the arms, nod the chin, and rolling back up. Hinging at the very end, reaching towards your toes, active hamstring stretch, breathe in. Exhale, rolling back, arms go out to the side. So you're all the way flat. Inhale, big circle with the arms up and over. Start reaching arms up, lifting the head, and rolling back. Last one. We're rolling down, taking our pelvis back, moving through our lower back. Arms open out to the side, reaching overhead, lifting the arms, nodding the chin. And the final stretch forward. Excellent. Now we're gonna bend the knees here. If you don't have the OOV, you're just gonna use the ball behind the lower back. But I want you to half roll back. So just imprint your spine into the OOV. So we're gonna take a second and just really pull abdominals, scoop, and roll our lower back into the OOV. If it's the ball will be right there. So now we're really contracted, we're in spinal flexion. Let's bring our shoulders back, nice long neck, hold the weights. From here, we're gonna open arms out to the side, breathe in. Exhale, coming back for 4. Inhale out. Exhale in, keep holding that isometric contraction with abdominals. And in, and out. Exhale in. Inhale, let's roll back up and reset. We're gonna do 3 more sets of different variations. Take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, roll back, scoop with abdominals, find that secret of the spine, find the ball right behind you. Arms are forward. Now we're gonna open our arms on the diagonal. One arm lifts up, one arm goes down. And then exhale, they come back to the center. Inhale, we switch. And exhale, center. Inhale, open for 2. Exhale, center. Going for 4 total on each side. Notice how one side is much easier to control with abdominals than the other diagonals. Last one. Here we're working a lot through that anterior chain with the front of the body. And coming back. And exhale as we roll back up. Let the arms rest. We're going to do one more time. Breathe in. And we have roll back. Now keep staying here. You're going to lift your right knee up just slightly. And lower back down. And lift your left hip up. And lower. Keep going. We're going to do 4 on each side. It doesn't matter how high that hip flexion is. Just want to focus on stabilizing your pelvis. And lower. And lift. On the OOV, you can really feel where your tailbone is in space. And it's just really effective in helping with that dynamic control. And exhale as we roll back up. Let's drop the weights, straighten the legs. Let's do our final roll down here. Allow our body to open back. You can do this over the ball. Just put the ball in the mid back. Take a breath in, let abdominals stretch, lengthen. And exhale as we're starting to come back up. Good, great work. We're gonna go onto the side and do some sideline spinal rotations. So the OOV will go sideways, pointy part towards you. The big part goes away from you. Without the OOV, it's going to be the ball underneath the ribs. So with the OOV, waistline is going right in the saddle. And without the OOV, the ball is going to go right underneath the rib cage. So as you find yourself in that sideline position, bring knees to about a 90-degree angle here. Grab the weight, if you have it nearby. If you don't have the weight, just the weight of the arm. The goal is to keep both knees zipped together. So not letting that top hip move forward or back. Now we're going to take the weight in the arm, breathe in. Today we're going to reach forward with that shoulder and then start moving that arm overhead, letting your gaze follow the arm and the weight until you rotate and extend all the way back as far as you can. With the ball, you won't be able to go very far. And inhale as we're slowly coming back through the center. One more time. Inhale, let that arm move overhead. Exhale, if you have the ball, just go a little bit back and stay there. Or with the OOV, you can move all the way back, allowing your thoracic spine and the shoulder girdle to open on that long diagonal without moving your knees. So your hips are staying together. And then exhale, come back through the center to the midline. One more time here. Breathe in. Exhale, rotate back. Inhale, stay. And exhale as we're coming back through the center. Let's drop the weight and just keep your arm there. The top leg is going to extend long. So if you have the ball, Jinky, go ahead and just get rid of it and just stay on the mat. We're going to go into our sideline leg lift series here. So the key is to keep pelvis in neutral. With the OOV, you're already there. It creates that little side bend. If you don't have the OOV, you're going to lengthen through the front of that hip so that there is a little space underneath the waistline. We're going to point the foot and lift that hip up. Now flex the foot as we lower back down. Point and lift. Flex and lower. Point and lift for 3. Flex and lower. Point and lift. And lower. 2 more. You want to focus on feeling it in the back of the glute medius area. And lower back down. Now point and lift, keep it at the nice long line. We're gonna go into ovals, kind of long vertical ovals. Leg goes up, down, forward. So you're drawing this oval circles. And 4, good. Let's reverse the direction. Go back, up, and over for 4. And 3. Really concentrating on the glute, on the femur, just rotating in that socket. And last one. And bringing the hip all the way down. Last exercise here, we're gonna lift up onto the elbow. So you can find yourself just kind of pressing the elbow down into the shoulder. So you're a little bit lifted. Your waistline is not gonna touch the OOV. We're gonna lift that leg up. Now you're gonna bend the knee as it comes forward and then exhale, kick it back. So this is just the mat side kick version. Bring it in and then kick that leg back. Foot stays flexed if you can, and especially focus on the kick back part, reaching the heel back. Bring it in and kick back. Last one. And bring it back. Excellent. Let's lower the leg and let's switch sides. So, OOV or the ball. Let's go on to the other side. I'm going to show real quick with the ball what this would look like. So knees are bent, stacked together. Head and arm are reaching forward. And then we're going to bring the top arm forward with the weight. We're going to breathe in, reach the thoracic spine forward. You want to protract the scapulus. And then start circling up and over as you slightly go back. So you won't be able to go very far, but with the OOV, go as far as you can. And then slowly start circling up and forward. And keep going. In this particular exercise, the idea is to increase thoracic range of motion. So the shoulder can go back if you have really mobile shoulders, but really focus on letting the ribs to open. And then bring it forward. Last one here. Inhale up and back. And exhale as we're coming back in. Let's drop the weight. Top leg extends. Toe is pointed. We're gonna lift that hip up and lower back down. Point the toes as we lift, flex as we lower. Having OOV underneath the waistline brings the lumbar spine in a more neutral position, maintaining that curve. So it feels really good. I think glute activation is much better this way. You're also going to think about lifting that waistline too, so you feel that space. Last one here, and lower. Here we're going to go into our circles or ovals. Toe is pointed. We're going to lift that leg up, down, and forward. And 2, 3, and 4. Reverse in the direction. Focus on going high here, but without hitchhiking or hiking the hip. And 4. Excellent. Lower that leg down. Let's come up on the elbow, lift off from the OOV, lift that leg up, and we're going to go into the kick. Knee comes forward and exhale as you kick back, leading with the heel. Trying to keep that hip parallel to the ground. It's much harder being lifted up because we're more in the side bend position. And it just works that whole lateral line at a greater extent, and kick it back. And last one here, and bring it back. Well done. We're gonna come back and start our prone series. So Marina, I know you have to go. So we're gonna take the OOV or no OOV, don't use anything. Now with the OOV, we're gonna flip it over, and with the nice and rounded part, it's gonna be forward. This is where the sternum is gonna go. So chin here is just gonna be on the floor without anything. So laying down, allow your ribs to kind of get into the part where it's interesting with the OOV because it pushes into the ribs, and it also forces us to breathe more into those posterior lateral lobes of the lungs. So we're gonna externally rotate the legs, straighten them, use the glutes to lock our pelvis down. Arms reach forward, allow everything to round forward here. It's good to do this also on the floor without any equipment, because then when you're on the OOV, you can really feel the difference. Take a breath in. As we exhale, we're gonna start coming up into the breaststroke. So pubic bone presses down, arms slide up, upper body lengthens up into extension. Exhale as we nod the chin and round back forward. Inhale, we lift up. Now think here, nice long neck. Exhale as you lower back down. And as you lift up, lower ribs will stay on the floor or on the OOV because we're trying to get into the upper thoracic extension and cervical extension. And then lower back down. Last one here, we're gonna lift up. Nice long breath here. And as you lower down, go on the elbow. So the elbows are right underneath the shoulders. We're slightly supported. Let's bring our shoulders away from ears. And we're just gonna work a little on the neck here. So I want you to nod the chin and look all the way down as you flex the neck. Now keep your chin tucked, but start extending the neck. So start looking up from the lower cervical segments, keeping the chin tucked, keeping it tucked, and then releasing the tuck at the very top. Starting again with the chin tuck, flexing the neck all the way down, and then keeping the chin tuck, starting to extend from the lower segments all the way up. Let's do two more, not the chin. You try to work through that segmental articulation of the cervical spine, just like we did earlier from the lumbar. And the last one, we're gonna nod the chin and find a neutral position where we're looking straight down onto the floor. Now keeping chin tucked, the back of the neck is long. We're gonna start rotating our head to the left, looking up towards the ceiling, and then keeping nice long neck as we look to the right. So let's do a couple more of those, moving our head side to side in the perfect arc of motion. And you're just assessing, is there a difference from side to side? Do you feel any stiffness from one side to the other? Sometimes if you shrug the shoulders and try to do it and see if that eliminated the stiffness. And if that helped, that means it's the trapezius or levator scapular muscles that are tight that are preventing from that range of motion from occurring. Last one. And then come back to the center, looking down. Now we're going to curl our toes under and straighten the knees. So the legs are now lifted. You're kind of balancing on the OOV, or you're just on the floor. From here, we're going to reach our right arm forward and lift it up. Now left leg is going to lift up. So opposite arm and leg are lifted. Left toe is pointing, right arm is reaching forward. Now we're going to lower the leg, lower the arm, lift the leg, lift the arm for 4. And 3. Moving in opposition, nice long neck. 2. And 1. Lower the leg down, bring the arm back. Switching sides, right leg extends, left arm reaches forward. Finding your balance on the OOV, or you're just on the floor. And then lift the leg, lift the arm, and lower. And lift. And lift. Keep focusing on a nice neck alignment. And last one here. And bring it back. We're going to do one more variation. Opposite arm, opposite leg extends out long. Now we're going to start moving the arm to the side and leg to the side. And back to center. So working in airplane motion, out to the side and back to center. Inhale out, exhale in. And last one here. Lower the arm, lower the leg. Other side, lengthen long. Find that length through the fingertips, through the toes. And we'll start rotating out to the side and back to center. Inhale out, exhale in. And last one here. And bring everything back. Let's press up into the shell stretch. Sit all the way back. Allow your back to lengthen. Take a deep breath in. Maybe shift your hips side to side to release any build-up tension there. And we're going to come back all the way. We're going to work a little bit on the seated work. So if you have the OOV, you're going to sit on the top of it with the pointy part coming forward. And both legs are just going to be kind of in this butterfly position. If you don't have the OOV, you're just going to be on the floor. Or maybe you have a yoga block or some elevated cushion if it's not too comfortable. Now have your arm weights handy here. So if feet are touching, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. If feet are apart, you have a little bit more stability. So first from here, let's just start by side bending. So find your sit bones on each side of the OOV, and then allow one side of the sit bone to drop down, and then go to the other side. Then you can kind of use the arm to help side bend away. So we're creating a side bend in the spine. It should feel good, hopefully opening, lengthening through the QL, through that waistline. Just gonna go side to side, trying to find that oppositional movement of the hip bone dropping down as the ribs are lifting up and away. And then switching sides. Last one here. Now we're going to come back to the center. Both arms are reaching forward. And now we're going to rotate. So I want you to rotate your sternum to one side. The opposite elbow will bend. Come back to the center and then rotate the sternum to the other side. If you're on the floor, this is also highly effective. You're trying to work on opposition, rotating the sternum while keeping hips stable. Incorporate the neck rotation, kind of everything twist side to side. One more time. Now we're going to grab the weights if you have them. If you don't worry about it. And now we're going to go a little bit quicker. So maybe your heels are a little bit in towards each other, so it's harder to stabilize. And we're going to start moving quicker. Rotating side to side. Arms are reaching straight forward. The goal is to be able to stabilize in a more dynamic environment. Now start reaching your arms up to the corner of the ceiling. So a little bit different rotation of our thorax. Allow the hips to move as if you're on the OOV, or if you're on the floor, try to hold them still. Keep reaching up a little bit higher. And then start reaching down. So we're kind of creating a little different and all the way down to the corners of the mat. And then start reaching slowly all the way up to the corners of the ceiling. One more set of those, kind of punching if you have the weights. And last one, reaching all the way up. And coming back to the center. Dropping the weights. Now we're gonna straighten the legs, nice and straight. A little bit wider maybe than the shoulder. We're gonna go into the saw here. So if you're sitting on the floor, it's gonna be more challenging because you're lower. Arms are gonna reach up to the outside. Take a breath in. Exhale, we twist and reach forward. Arm reaches to the outside of the foot. So we rotate and flex. And then we lengthen back up and come back to the midline. Rotate to the other side. Exhale, flex forward. Reach that arm to the outside of the toe. Inhale as you lengthen up and back to center. Again, rotate and flex and reach. Allow your spine to flex. And then lengthen back up from the bottom up. Come back to the center. We rotate to the other side. If it's a little bit harder to one side, try to pause there for a second. Find that end range, then start flexing. It's definitely more challenging for me to go this way. And then lengthen back up and come back to the center. Last one to each side. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, flex forward. Inhale, lengthen up. And come back to center. Give rotate to the other side. Nod the chin, exhale, flex forward. Inhale, slowly lengthen up. And come back to the center. We're gonna do a spine stretch forward. If you have the ball in front of you. If you don't have anything, totally fine. You're gonna nod the chin, allow your sternum to flex, and just reach forward as far as you can. And then exhale, start restacking the spine from the bottom up. 2 more times. Nod the chin, sternum pulls in, exhale, pull abdominals in, round forward. The ball just kind of helps to reach maybe a little further. And then slowly coming back up. Legs are nice and straight, ankles are pulled in. Last one here. And now we're slowly coming back up. Good. Nicely done. Let's come off of it. We're going to go a little bit into our quadruped, or hands and knees work. So, if you have the OOV, we're going to keep it, the knee is going to go inside the saddle like we did last week. So allow the bigger part of the OOV to go outside. Maybe your left knee goes into the saddle. This can also be done with the foam roll. If you have the foam roll, your knee is going to go onto the foam roll. Now both arms are going to go right underneath the shoulders. And the other knee is also going to go onto the foam roll. So if you have the foam roll, both knees are on the foam roll. With the OOV, just left knee will be on the OOV. So arms are going to press firmly into the floor. Now with the OOV, you're going to lift the free knee up so it's off the floor and the pelvis is nicely connected. From here, the leg that's free, we're going to lengthen it away and lift it up. Nice long line. Now hold that position. See if you can lift the opposite arm up towards the ceiling. Now we're in the 2-point plank. The toes are also on the floor of the foot that's on the OOV or the foam roll. Keep holding this nice plank. Now we're gonna lower the leg, lower the arm, tap the floor. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, lower for 2, going for 8. Exhale, lift. And 3. And up. And 4. Connect with your neck. Nice long neck. Chin is tucked, the back of the neck reaching up to the ceiling. Arm is straight and spin your elbow in so that you're reaching with your thumb to the ceiling. Last one here, lift up. Stay lifted. We're gonna bend the knee, bend the elbow, flex the spine, try to touch that knee to the elbow. Breathe in. Exhale, lengthen away. We're just doing 4 of these. So we flex up and then we extend out. And flex in. And extend. Things are moving here. The hips will move. Spine moves. Last one. And back out. And lower the arm, lower the leg. Take a second. Sit back into the shell stretch. Before we go to the other side, take a breath in. Take the OOV to the other side with the foam roll. Just gonna go back over it with both knees. Now the other knee is gonna go in the saddle. Arms are nicely lined up underneath the shoulders. First, we're gonna press into the floor. Shoulders move away from each other. Opposite knee lifts off the floor. There's definitely more challenge on this side for me at least. The free leg, we're gonna extend out long. And then the opposite arm will lengthen up. Thumb is reaching up to the ceiling. Heel is reaching up to the ceiling. Our first sequence, we'll lower the foot, lower the arm for 8, and lift. Now here we're working on stabilization of the spine, of our pelvis, trying to not let the pelvis move and just move leg and arm. And lift. And 6, 7, and 8. Hold it up there. Next 4, we're gonna flex. Inhale. Bring the elbow in, bring the knee in. And exhale, extend out. Toe is pointed, so we flex up. And we lengthen away. And exhale. Last one. And exhale. Lower the arm and lower the leg. Let's sit back into one more shell stretch. Take a breath in. Slowly coming out. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of planking motion. Without the OOV, you're just gonna be on the floor. With the OOV, it's a choke position. So elbows go on the big fat part of the OOV, arms grab through the corner, and you're gonna pull that corner up towards you. Without the OOV, you're just gonna be on the elbows on the floor. It's way harder with the OOV. So elbows are pressing down, you're pulling up. This really helps activate serratus, which is kind of the armpit muscle. Now allow one leg to extend and then the other. So we're in the plank, feet are wide, about shoulder width apart. If you're without the OOV, you're on the elbows, maybe you're on the knees if it's too much, or you extend the knees. Being down on the knees is totally fine too. It's a lot of work. We're just holding it here. So this is a lot of side to side control motion. You want to make sure that you're tucking your abdominals in so that nothing is felt in the lower back. 20 more seconds. Nice long neck. Keep holding it. Halfway there. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower both knees all the way down. And let's sit more into one more shell stretch. Let's slowly come back up. And we're gonna go into a little bit of standing work here. So we're gonna come all the way up into standing today. And if you don't have the OOV, you can actually use tennis ball or any kind of a foot staff, or just on the floor working on foot balance is really nice too. With the OOV, you're gonna put your foot into the saddle, kind of through the arch. So you're gonna be right through that mid-tarsal arch. And then just put pressure on it and step up. And then slowly step back down. So we're just gonna do a couple of weight transfers through the arch, stepping up and coming down. Now step up on it and then try to find your balance now and lift the opposite leg up. It's kind of nice to work on the OOV here because it really challenges that transverse arch through the foot. Or if you're just on the floor, think about lifting your arch and just keep it a little lifted. So the pressure's on the big toe, little toes, and the heel. And then we're gonna step back down. We're gonna go to the other side. So finding the middle of the saddle of the OOV, putting pressure into that foot, allowing it to spread and splay and stretch. And then coming back. Just a couple of times letting that arch to splay and stretch out. When we squat, when we go into the deep squat, our arches are meant to collapse and go in. So it's really important to work on the mobility of the foot. And then finding that nice balance. Start lifting the opposite leg and just finding yourself balancing through that midfoot. Making sure your torso is nice and upright. Notice if you're leaning to one side than the other. 5 more seconds here. Whew. And stepping down. Now we're gonna take the OOV and place it lengthwise with the fat part coming forward. I'm gonna go back to my right foot and I'll put it inside the saddle. So my second toe is gonna be lined up with the ridge in the front. So I'm just gonna do it this way so you can see. So the heel is at the pointy part. The second toe is lined up. And then I'm gonna start putting pressure into it. So this really stretches my plantar fascia. And I'm putting pressure into my big toe. So my toes are extending, they're stretching out here. Now, if you don't have Jinhi the OOV, what you can do, and we're just holding this position, is roll up your mat and put your toes onto the mat. And just kind of put pressure into that big toe so that it just stretches the front of those toes. So whichever variation, the idea is to stretch the arch and then find balance and start lifting the opposite leg and trying to find balance here in this posture. I think it just feels really nice on the OOV. It forces us to stabilize in that side to side plane. And really works on the inside and outside ankle stabilizers. Wonderful for ankle sprains. To strengthen. And then step on down. And let's do the same on the other side. So whether it's a rolled up mat, the big or the OOV, second toe and the heel are lined up with the ridge inside that seam of the OOV. You're gonna put pressure into it. Foot is nicely extended. And then start finding that balance, lifting the opposite leg. It's interesting, this is a different plane of balance when you are standing this way as opposed to what we did earlier. So you might find a challenge one versus the other. And sometimes that has to do with ankle sprains. If you had a lot of ankle sprains and maybe the tendons or ligaments are stretched, This would be a great way to strengthen them. Last 5 seconds. And stepping all the way back down. Last thing we're gonna do is standing balance with both legs. So you're gonna step on the big side of the OOV. We're gonna leave the OOV this way and bring both feet together. If you don't have the OOV, you're just gonna stand on the floor and allow yourself to be in a really narrow stance. So feet are touching all the way in. From here, maybe arms are reaching forward. We're gonna start slowly going into the squat. And your goal is to get down as low as you can in this narrow stance squat. And then start coming back up. We're gonna do a total of 4. And lower back down. Shoulders stay connected, arms reach forward, allow hips to hinge. And slowly coming up. 2 more, and lower. There's a lot of great balance work on the OOV that we will be progressing to the next month. So over the next month of our OOV classes, have your weights, have your loop band, something goes around the thighs, have a long TheraBand, and a ball, and or yoga block, last squat. And we're gonna be interchanging those things to make things harder or easier, to increase or decrease tension, and just to address different fascial lines. And step on down. We are done. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate it.